Nominations are now in order for the office of Speaker. Representative Maurice West is recognized for a nomination.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. If the body will indulge me before I move forward with my nomination, no matter where you stand on the scale of favorability, we must give recognition to whom recognition is due. Today marks the 50th anniversary of Speaker Michael J. Madigan being in the House of Representatives, and today he will be passing the torch of this leadership position to someone new. And so again, no matter where you stand on the favorability, out of respect, I ask for a standing ovation for the legacy and the service of Speaker Michael J. Madigan. To my caucus, we've had a very interesting 4 days, and I'm not just talking about up here, I'm talking about downstairs. And it was very historic in so many levels. And I think we need to, as a caucus, and to our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, you can definitely join us if you so desire, but we've had historic and I would say bold individuals come forward to run for Speaker. So I would like to acknowledge Representative Stephanie Kifowit, Representative Kathleen Willis, Representative Ann Williams, and Representative Jay Hoffman. If we can give them a standing ovation for their boldness. Mr. Secretary, Honorable Judge Mary Kay O'Brien, honorable members of the 102nd General Assembly, I rise for this historic moment to nominate Emanuel Chris Welch as Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives, for him to be the first African American to be nominated, to be elected as Speaker of the House in the state of Illinois. I came in here in 2019, so in 2018, I won my primary as state representative in my district, and it was my third time running, but my first time winning. You get what I'm saying? So I lost twice. For those of you who have ever lost, it's not a good feeling, right? And so I consider myself to be a professional candidate. And shortly after my election, it hit me hard. I have to learn how to deliver on these campaign promises. I know how to campaign, now I have to learn how to govern. And you could just imagine the jitters that came thinking about that. You all know what I'm talking about. What made it worse? I was in the middle of watching House of Cards. And if you've seen House of Cards, it was super cutthroat. And I'm like, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, right? And so it made my nerves even worse. I should have watched West Wing, but I don't know what I was thinking. So I had so many questions and no one to answer it. And then I received this random call from this random state representative named Emanuel Chris Welch, who asked if he can come to my city to break bread with me and to get to know me. Remember, I watched House of Cards, so I knew that, they would want, I have an ask for you, or you will do everything I say, or I will destroy you, stuff like that. You've seen House of Cards. So we went to Illinois Machine Shed in Rockford and ate some fried chicken, no judgment. And I asked all my questions. And he answered all of them. And I still was waiting for that ask. I was waiting for that other shoe to drop. Like, why are you really here? He then showed his custom suits, and he told me to invest in myself, because at the time I was wearing these $39 suits, And because it was so cheap, it had plastic in it. And so on the House floor, it would like shine. And I would be so embarrassed. And I would look at the likes of Greg Harris and Chris Welch. And I'm like, I got to invest in a new suit. So I hope you guys like my 3-piece. But anyways. So he helped me to learn how to invest in myself. And to my shock, he left Rockford. And there was no ask. And he generally wanted just to get to know me and answer my questions. He then invited me to Chicago for one of his fundraisers so that I could meet other people. And that's where I got to meet my brothers, Representative Robinson, Representative Slaughter, Representative Tarver. Let me put a caveat, Representative Slaughter was late. Representative Smith, and we broke bread with him there. And he brought his wife. And his wife gave me advice on how to be a good husband to my new bride. Because as you can imagine, I was nervous because, I'll be down here for 5 months. She went down to the details. Make sure you take selfies telling her that you love her. And so I don't know if you guys saw me back here. I was taking selfies to my wife, telling her I love my beautiful bride. But his wife came and instilled and imparted in me. Even then, no ask. He wanted me to meet my new brothers and become connected. Welch quickly became my mentor. Anytime I had a question, he made himself available to me. He taught me everything opposite of House of Cards to be successful in the General Assembly. Building and cherishing relationships with colleagues, with all of you. How to be effectively present in my district, and how to stand by my convictions, even when my convictions are not popular amongst the body. It took Leader Welch 2.5 years from when I met him to finally drop the other shoe on me when he made the ask for me to nominate him as Speaker of the 102nd General Assembly, and I'm honored to do it. Chris Welch is the leader for such a time as this. Yes, we are walking in uncharted territories with COVID-19 still running rampant through our communities, a major budget crisis, remap, all while immediately following the huge footsteps and monumental legacy of Speaker Madigan. But I firmly believe that Welch did not choose this moment. This moment chose Welch because he has the wherewithal to convene the great minds within this caucus so that we could tackle these issues together. To my family, I look among us and I see a dream team, a team of exceptional legislators. Emanuel Chris Welch will empower each and every member to get things done for the people of Illinois. He promised us power moves to restore the trust of the people of Illinois through immediate ethics reform, term limits on the speaker position, and to have a diversified leadership team so that it looks like our caucus. Family, I'm confident that Chris Welch will be a speaker who convenes the great minds of the Democratic caucus to tackle the issues of our state and stand against those who work to disempower working families and communities. He will be a speaker who will be confident in placing power in the hands of the committees where deliberation of thought will either strengthen or block legislation. Please join me by voting for Emanuel Chris Welch as Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives in the 102nd General Assembly. Our history, our present, and our future has its eyes on this moment. Thank you.
Representative Representative West places in nomination Representative Emanuel Chris Welch for Speaker of the House of Representatives. And is there a second to this nomination?